In today's digital age, texting has become one of the most popular forms of communication. With the rise of social media, instant messaging apps, and texting, people are communicating more through text than ever before. While the content of a text message is important, the way we text can also reveal a lot about our personality, habits, and communication style. In this video, we'll explore what your texting style reveals about you and how you can use that knowledge to improve your communication skills. Long versus short texts. The length of your text messages can say a lot about your communication style. If you're someone who likes to write long messages, it might suggest that you're detail-oriented, enjoy expressing yourself in detail, and want to ensure that your message is clearly understood. On the other hand, if you prefer short and concise messages, you might be more direct and to the point. You might value efficiency in communication and don't want to waste time with unnecessary words or detail. Punctuation and grammar. If you always use proper grammar, spelling, and punctuation, it suggests that you are detail-oriented, organized, and take your communication seriously. You likely want to ensure that your message is clear, accurate, and free of errors. However, if you use shorthand or emojis instead of proper grammar, you might be more casual and laid back in your communication style. You might be more interested in conveying emotion and personality rather than precision and accuracy. Response time. How quickly you respond to a text message can give insight into your personality. If you always respond immediately, it suggests that you value efficiency, responsiveness, and staying connected with others. You might be someone who enjoys socializing and maintaining frequent communication with friends and family. However, if you take longer to respond, you might be someone who values time to reflect and process your thoughts before responding. You might be more introverted or prefer to take your time with communication rather than rush to respond. Use of emojis. Emojis have become a popular way to add emotion and personality to text messages. The type of emojis you use and how often you use them can reveal something about your personality. If you use a lot of emojis, it might suggest that you're creative, expressive, and enjoy adding personal touches to your messages. You might be someone who wants to convey emotion and personality through your texts. However, if you don't use many emojis, you might be someone who values a more serious and formal tone in communication. You might be more reserved with your emotions and prefer to express them in other ways. Frequency of texting. If you text frequently, it might suggest that you're social, outgoing, and enjoy staying connected with people. You might be someone who enjoys maintaining close relationships and keeping in touch with friends and family. However, if you don't text very often, it might suggest that you're more introverted and prefer to communicate face-to-face. You might value your personal space and prefer to interact with others in more meaningful ways. Use of abbreviations. The use of abbreviations in text messages is a common practice. If you frequently use abbreviations like LOL or BRB, it might suggest that you're more casual and laid back in your communication style. You might value a sense of humor and like to keep things lighthearted in your interactions. On the other hand, if you avoid abbreviations and always write out full words, it might suggest that you're more serious and formal. You might value clear and precise communication over personal touches. Use of capitalization. If you tend to capitalize words in your text messages, it might suggest that you're more expressive and want to emphasize certain words or phrases. You might be someone who enjoys adding personality and emotion to your messages. On the other hand, if you avoid capitalization and write in all lowercase letters, it might suggest that you're more reserved and want to keep your communication style simple and straightforward. The tone. If you tend to use a positive and upbeat tone, it might suggest that you're optimistic and enjoy spreading positivity. You might be someone who values building and maintaining positive relationships with others. On the other hand, if you use a more negative or serious tone, it might suggest that you're more pragmatic and direct in your communication style. You might value efficiency and want to get to the point quickly. Use of sarcasm. Sarcasm is a common form of humor in text messages, and it can reveal something about your personality. If you use sarcasm frequently, it might suggest that you're witty, clever, and enjoy using humor to connect with others. You might be someone who values a sense of humor in your interactions. However, if you avoid using sarcasm and prefer to communicate more straightforwardly, it might suggest that you're more serious and direct. Use of gifs and memes. Finally, the use of gifs and memes in text messages has become increasingly popular. If you use gifs and memes frequently, it might suggest that you're creative, humorous, and enjoy expressing yourself through pop culture references. You might be someone who values originality and wants to stand out from the crowd. On the other hand, if you avoid using gifs and memes and prefer to communicate more traditionally, it might suggest that you're more serious and reserved. In conclusion, your texting style can reveal a lot about your personality, communication habits, and preferences. By understanding your own texting style and that of others, you can improve your communication skills and build stronger relationships with people in your life. Whether you're a long-winded texter, an emoji enthusiast, or a frequent texter, embracing your own unique texting style can help you communicate more effectively and authentically. We hope you found this video informative and enjoyable. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.